Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Strange Antiquities. As today we settle into Day 8, Thursday, our second week back in Undermere. And would you look at that? It's finally stopped raining. Nice, clear weather. Cat on the counter. Things don't get much better than that. I mean, sure, we're still being plagued by mysterious dreams of a mind-eating magical virus of some sort, but I'm sure that'll all blow over. Yes, sir, things are looking up in Undermere. Though, speaking of dreams, let's go ahead and get this latest dream card resolved, shall we? And yeah, after really giving it a look, it is, I think, pretty straightforward. There is only one tower out in the main map, but it turns out there are several on Gleaston Castle. The only really tricky bit being that the compass rose on Gleaston Castle is distinctly not pointed in a direction you would normally associate with north. So rather than being the leftmost tower, it is, in fact, the one all the way on the right. The view from the tower is quite beautiful, but it's what I find inside that catches my attention. In the middle of the room is an unlocked wooden chest, and within that, not one, but two smaller wooden chests, along with a cryptic scrap of paper. Oh, interesting. Can we open these smaller chests? I mean, normally I'd assume no, but being able to interact with that special flower key definitely has me second-guessing some of these artifacts now. Though this one does seem fairly static. 3 equidistantly placed purple gems set against what seems to be an engraved sun symbol. And then a slightly smaller coffer, this time engraved with an hourglass, also not interactive, which causes an unpleasant sensation at the back of my skull. Noted. And then we also have this. Something by a diarnic seal. Something object made from silver. Something a diarnic field. Oh, diarnic fields. We haven't even really messed with those, have we? We'll just set that aside for now until we find appropriate tools. And then, as for the coasters here, the tiles, I looked at those too, and yeah, once you start studying the edges of the board here, the patterns become pretty obvious, which makes it easy to figure out where they slot in. Unfortunately, we are missing one, the one that goes off on the left, which, based on the patterns that we're observing here, would be the circle with another half circle on top, since you can see that repeated in other parts of the pattern. Let's ring in our first for the day. Frencesca Robertson, the doctor. As if I didn't have enough on my plate right now, my sister, Bonnie, has been acting strange lately. She never got over the death of our father. She's always blamed Mr. Potter for his role in it, and now with all that is happening, she's got it in her head that he's behind it somehow. Barton Potter, the Relic hunter. I'm worried she's going to do something stupid. If she comes in here, whatever you do, do not give her anything dangerous. I want to give her a keepsake to let her know that she is still loved. I've seen people gifting one another wooden totems, but I don't know what they're called. Right, yeah, that does sound vaguely familiar. Something we've already ID'd, I think. Let's check. Wood. Scythian Charm or Zaya? No, that doesn't sound right. Scythian Charm, yeah, that's the one for growing plants. We just gave that to our boss. Also, the one we have is made of planetary metal, not wood, Oh, wait, right there. Love, Selenic totem. Right, yes, okay, the moon heart. That's our owl figurine. Here you go, Doc. Good luck with your sister. I know loss can make people do strange things. Though I do suspect this particular effort will be in vain. Thank you. Unfortunately, I have some bad news to share. Jack Hungerford has not responded well to the Dranthium tea. If anything, he appears to have sunk deeper into the trance. I daren't try anything else in case I make things worse. Right, noted. That does make me wonder if the other option we had might have worked better, Witch's Fingers. But that one could have also potentially killed him, so I don't know. I'm just not sure it was worth the risk. Whatever happens, happens, I suppose. Next. Verona Green, the Occult Scholar. Those silly sods at Calgirth Hall wouldn't let me in to look around. It seems I've upset the little lord who lives there at some point in the past. Allegedly, I refused to perform an exorcism on his haunted house. He didn't like my suggestion that it might be the local kids playing pranks on him because he's a mean old git. I'm not so easily put off, though. Do you have a Tenebrin cloak I could use this evening? I've got some snooping to do. Tenebrin cloak. Well, let's see. I seem to recall that being a fairly sparse entry. Yeah. Upon activation, a Tenebrin cloak can create a sphere of enshrouding darkness that will cloak all within its reach. A single stone set in bronze gives power to these totems. No real defining features in the illustration, just an abstract depiction of a cloak. So, bronze set with single stone. We've got this one, but I'm fairly certain that's the Spirit Eye. Then this one. Bronze set with a green gemstone. And this one? Yes. A bronze hand set with a turquoise gemstone. Oh, though it didn't actually specify that it had to be an amulet. It might actually be something else set with a single stone, though I suppose at a glance I'm not really seeing a lot of potential options. Let's check our book on gems. Anything related to darkness or concealment. Bloodstone, though nothing we have right now would really match that. Moonstone. Protection and enveloping night. Onyx, linked to night and darkness. We don't really have anything made of bronze and set with onyx or bloodstone, though. Or... oh, wait a minute. What metal is this made of? Because that is definitely a moonstone. Bronze. You know what? I was genuinely thinking this was probably our Moonstone Guardian, but now I'm thinking that entire bust is just an elaborate red herring to throw us off. I mean, there's no other real way to narrow it down aside from gem type. Because we technically have 3 objects which all match the description of bronze set with a single stone, but the other 2 objects we have are set with a green and turquoise stone, respectively. Which actually makes me think this might be our Moonstone Guardian. Here you go, Miss Green. Hey, look at that. Yes, the entire statue portion was just an elaborate misdirect. Very tricksy. Which grants us pages for St. Cedric's Thunder. Used to store the power of a single thunderclap. Then a weird digression into transmuting base metals into gold. Placed on top of mountains to charge them during storms. Gemstones can be used to prevent the charge from waning over time. Oh, interesting. So something set with gems. My first thought is one of the statuettes off on left, but that's just my immediate knee-jerk impulse. Possibly the gold one, since gold is an excellent conductor. Doubly so, since I think the other one is actually our diverging hook, the Mind Scalpel. And you know what? I hate to do it, but I think it might be about time to start considering moving those plants. Really like the way they look, but we're just running out of shelf space. I'll mull on that for a bit. Hey, cutie. How you doody? Next. Oop. Barton Potter. The Relic Hunter. I bumped into Eli at the station yesterday before he left for Oxford. His train was late, so we had a brief chat, and he suddenly remembered something he wanted to tell you. Oh, did he? I told him I'd pass on the message. Is that so? And let me guess, he asked us to hand over some sort of incredibly valuable artifact that he's suddenly entrusting you with? In other news, I've got a little something for you if you're interested. It's going to cost you, but it's worth it. The map of the catacombs. Very rare. Worth a lot to someone in your line of work, I imagine. And all I'm asking for in return is a Valant. Valant. I keep forgetting to mention, it would be helpful for you to read Dr. Robertson's booklet on curses. You'll find it in the cupboard hidden in the counter. E.W. One step ahead of you, boss man. Apparently I may have misjudged Potter, at least in this one case. Really kind of felt like he was trying to pull a scam on us. Oh, and we definitely know this one. Equidistantly spaced holes, a pulse of power at the focal point. That's this one right here. We just looked at it the other day. And I mean, it's not like they're giving us any real options here, so we'll go ahead and hand it over. Nice. Which gets us our third map. This time of the mysterious catacombs. Interesting. The same place we've been dreaming about. The origin point of the mysterious black sarcophagi that now seems to be infecting unchecked around Undermere. Also, it's definitely not lost on me that Barton apparently played it straight, not just on the map, but on the note as well. Right after the warning from Frencesca that her sister might be gunning for him. Clearly meant to influence or otherwise inform how we ultimately end up handling that. I mean, I will say, just based on the dreams we've been having, Potter's definitely involved with whatever's going on with the black sarcophagi. But just straight up going after him does feel pretty extreme. Especially when we don't even know what's going on yet. Though it does seem to imply the other person in our dream was Francesca's father. Oh, and speaking of Francesca's sister, Bonnie Robertson. I feel like I'm going crazy here. I know who's behind this madness. All these people with the pitch black eyes. But nobody is listening to me. I've seen it happen before. 7 years ago, my father died the same way. Well, since nobody will listen, I'm going to take care of it myself. A Corvin's Might, please. And I'll be on my way. Wow, Corvin's Might. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's just a straight-up assassin's tool, so she is just outright trying to kill him. And that is definitely Francesca's sister. Interesting, interesting. Like, if she were asking for something that would force him to tell the truth, or otherwise reveal information, that I could kind of get behind, but Corvin's Might, yeah, that's just straight-up murder. Whereas Gray's Grace dispels melancholy. Oh, okay, no, we know what that one is. That's, it has the design of the Shadow Catcher. That's right here. I've even tentatively tagged it because it had the same symbol as the Shadow Hold. So, yeah, we'll try to dissuade her murderous designs, I think. See where that gets us. Gray's Grace ID'd. Which gets us pages for the Spirit Vault. Also known as Fetid Chamber, receptacle to store a wandering shroud. Interior is lined with a paste made from sulfur, hence the nickname. Okay, well that's our ornate jar right there. Not considered dangerous, and shrouds tend to be benign, but on occasion they do not take kindly to being restrained. Faint vibration can be felt when a shroud is held within. Okay, noted. Don't insult me, Thaumaturge. This isn't some depression that can be cured with your little trinkets. I will get hold of a Corvin's Might. Okay, sure, yeah, I mean, good luck with that, I guess. You know, there are simpler ways to kill people without resorting to magic. Not that I'm encouraging that. And end of day, wow. Feels like we barely had anyone in today at all. It was like 4 people. Yeah, this has to be our Spirit Vault. Moonstones, Gems of Protection, Smells of Sulfur. We also ID'd this, so let me tag it accordingly. Getting pretty crowded in our amulet display. And you know what? We're not even 20 minutes in, so yeah, I guess we'll go for day 9. See how this stuff with Barton and Bonnie potentially pans out. Night, sweetheart. End of day 8. As his mind broiled in confusion, he watched through his remaining good eye as his partner lunged towards the satchel that contained the casket. To his horror, he saw that his partner's eyes were black. Right. Thus further insinuating that Francesca and Bonnie's father was indeed Barton's former partner. Was there any indication as to when this took place? Because the information we're gathering now seems to imply 7 years ago. Below Kirkhead Tower. Back Barrow. The barrows are right next to the Wyatt Beck, the river that Verona said might be the source of the infection. A small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. Interesting. Tombstone. Right, obvious. Day 9. Friday. And we just need to find the right outline. Fairly standard tombstone shape, flared out on the edges. I mean, I'm just going to say it, slightly phallic. I'm going to say this one right here is our best bet. Nice. I squeeze through a partially collapsed passageway and emerge in a small chamber. Glinting in the flickering torchlight, I catch sight of a pendant draped across an old gravestone. Oh, okay. That's our heat-resistant scale. Shape, texture. The presence of onyx and another fiery stone. About as straightforward as it gets. Also, where is Jupiter? Buddy, you around here somewhere? Huh. Hopefully he'll straggle back in. It was mentioned he likes to go out at night. Constance Bader. My awakening ceremony takes place at the convent tomorrow. I will need a talon. Oh, the Amphibian talon, you say? Yeah, I was kind of dreading someone might ask for that eventually. Though I will say you don't look nearly as sinister as what I imagined. You might. The League of the Amphibian Heart worship an ancient nameless god, communing via the broken path. The Amphibian talon is pressed against the cheekbone hard enough to draw blood 49 days in a row. So something sharp, with two curved or symmetrical tips, as evidenced by the fellow here, depicted with two curved marks on his cheekbone. A few things spring to mind, mostly the items down on bottom left, but it could be like a sharp-rimmed amulet. Amphibian kind of evokes like the imagery of something reptilian, perhaps? I mean, logically it would be one of our hand-themed items. We've got a few of those. Oh, okay, well, I really overthought that because it turns out they have matching iconography. The serpent-themed ring. It makes me feel uneasy. I don't like it. Yeah, I can't imagine why. It's two mummified fingers mounted on brass. Are they real severed fingers? Surely not. Right. Alright, you weirdo. Here's your Amphibian talon. Enjoy fingering yourself, I guess. Inappropriate. Honestly, even without the insinuation, it's still pretty weird. Morgan's Folly. A folly symbol can be revealed to induce a trance-like state in anyone who casts their eye upon it, making them open to suggestibility. Precautions should be taken against unwittingly looking upon the hidden symbol for too long. Okay, well, we don't have anything like that, at least not in our currently accessible stores, but we do have our restricted section, many of which do bear currently obscured symbols. I'm going to go ahead and call this thing potentially dangerous. We'll set it off left. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't tag our visitor there as a key NPC. You'd think the Amphibian League would somehow factor into everything that's going on in Undermere right now. Next. Simone Green, the Librarian. Oh, where's Jupiter today? I always look forward to coming in to say hello to him. I've been working my way through the journal, but it's heavy going. I keep coming back to this series of sketches. Does this mean anything to you? Could it relate to the plinths? Well, I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh, weird. Yeah, that's like a swirly fingerprint pattern, 3 concentric circles, and a sine wave, which could imply patterns on objects. But honestly, my first thought is that it might actually be diurnic fields. Something we have no way of detecting just yet. Swirly, 3 circles, and sine waves. We've got swirly symbols on the bramble-bound orb top left, and the ring on the decayed hand bottom left. But see, like this here, that clearly seems to match up with the middle symbol, which would seem to reinforce the idea that we do in fact need a thermic lens to solve this particular clue. This box here does have a triangular pattern of circles. Nothing's really jumping out at me with the sine waves, though. No, I don't think that's it. I don't think this is one we can solve right now. We'll push on. Hopefully we'll find our thermic lens soon. It does make me feel like we've missed something, though. Sine waves. What would be equivalent to that sine wave symbol? Bonnie, back so soon. How can I help you? I've come back for that Corvin's Might, and I'm not taking no for an answer this time. Okay, I mean, if you say so. I want a Corvin's Might. Either you give it to me, or you never see your cat again. Take it to the woods behind Calgirth. Oh, you absolute. You are lucky you've already left, because otherwise I'd be using that Corvin's Might on you right now. Okay, well, that would explain Jupiter's sudden mysterious absence, I suppose. And definitely puts us in a bit of a pickle because, I mean, obviously, I want our cat back, but also, I'm not going to give a crazy catnapper a magic murder weapon. Oh boy, okay, we'll give it till end of day. Maybe, like, Frencesca will come in. Give us some options. Wyatt Collings. I think I've been cursed. 2 weeks ago, I was quietly minding my own business in the Guilty Ram when a stranger came up to me. He handed me a book titled The Changes of Dr. Learmonth before leaving. Something about it intrigued me enough to take it home with me. Ever since I read the first page, I've been having terrible nightmares, and they're getting worse. I spoke to Dr. Robertson, and she sent me here. Terrible nightmares, okay. We do have a book on curses here, also written by Dr. Robertson. Let's give that a gander. Knock Excite, increasingly vivid nightmares. Now we just cross-reference the index in our artifact book, see what we have for Noctic Sight. Ambra, Selenic Totem, Sleep Vessel. Well, Selenic Totem is for storing emotions. Sleep Vessel is... Oh, right. Moonstone Guardian, right in front of us. For the banishment of Hobbs' fear and Noctic Sight. These tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. Which I do think clinches it. We do in fact have a very comforting figurine with a giant chunk of moonstone in it. I guess you're our Jupiter now. But alas, I must lend you to this fine man here. Here you go, Mr. Collings. Please take good care of it. Moonstone Guardian. Which nets us pages for an Ascus. A device which allows one to breathe underwater. Though in truth they are not breathing at all. Those that use an Ascus for extended periods will sometimes forget to breathe once they are back on dry land. Cold to the touch, but with a ring of warmth. Come here, buddy. You're Jupiter now. Oh, interesting. You can't actually put it where Jupiter would normally go. Not so easily replaced, it would seem. Verona Green, the Occult Scholar. There's not much that can unsettle me these days, but I found something at Calgirth Hall that I'd rather I hadn't. In the cellar where they found those two poor girls, I came across a bubbling black mess that was oozing from the rock itself. Seems there's a sickness in Undermere. It's in the earth and the water, and it's spreading. I suppose it falls to me to find out where it's coming from. If it's underground, then underground's where I'll start. See if I can find anything in the catacombs. I realize now that I've been a little careless. I've been getting headaches. I won't go into the catacombs without a sextrum. Inappropriate? Question mark? Sextrum. Protects against insanity in all its forms. These items, like the mind itself, are not well understood. Well, they gave us very little to go on there, but you know what? We've got a sextrum right here, which we know from prior analysis bears 3 symbols of protection surrounding a symbol of insanity, and also does seem to have some influence on the mind. Here you go, Miss Grain. Nice. Fortinance. Can enhance physical strength or restore strength that has been sapped, whether by exertion or by hex. Made of stone or iron and usually takes the form of a small totem. Possibly... end of day. Possibly our iron hand off to left, though I wouldn't exactly call that small. We have the hand-shaped amulet as well, but I believe that's silver, not iron. More likely it's just something we haven't found yet. And man, so still no Jupiter. I was really hoping Frencesca would roll in and we'd potentially be able to get her assistance, but at this point we're faced with the decision to either go confront Bonnie or just go to bed and hope for the best. I mean, technically we haven't even identified Corvin's Might. I'm not sure we really have any clues as to what it looks like. Just that it's Wixic and has something to do with the Bloody Queen? I mean, the Talon... Actually, you know what? That bird-like Talon clutching a big chunk of bloodstone is probably our Corvin's Might. Though we do have a few other Wixic items we could potentially swap into its place, perhaps? The Binding Seed. I mean, like, the Sleep Vessel I can't imagine would really be all that helpful, but a Binding Seed... That, I believe, enhances feelings of guilt. So perhaps we could trick her into taking this, and then she would feel badly enough to return Jupiter, and possibly give up her plans of bloody vengeance. It does feel like a bit of a long shot, but, I mean, I'm not really seeing much else in the way of options here. Yeah, I mean, this would literally just help her sleep at night. I think that's kind of the opposite of what we're going for. Alright, okay, well... Let's go confront her. We'll see if we can pawn off the Binding Seed. Woods behind Calgarthal, so that would be here. Just off Ferryman's Way. That's close enough, says a voice from the shadows. Give me the Corvin's Might, and I'll return your cat. I peer into the gloom, but I can't see anyone amongst the trees. I hesitate. I should give her what she wants, but then again, I am a thaumaturge. I don't always have to do what people want. Perhaps there is a better way to find out where Jupiter is. Oh wow, the diverging hook. Okay, well that's a bit more extreme than what I had in mind. As I recall, that has a chance to cause, like, brain damage? Also used by Barton in our dreams, possibly related to the current crisis. It is all too easy to leave a mind in disarray. Even when approached with care, the unanchored thoughts are easy to lose track of. But I mean, what real choice do we have? It's either that, and potentially get our cat back, or just straight up help her kill Barton. Hold on, just checking the stones real quick. We've got turquoise and then 2 shades of yellow. Amber, sunstone. Aquamarine, stone of peace. Topaz, stone of strength. Yeah, that doesn't really help us. Alright, well, you know, I got a thing about ultimatums anyway, so odds were I was never going to cooperate with her to begin with, but you kidnapped my cat. Sorry. I focus my attention on the diverging hook, searching the woman's mind hurriedly for any thought related to Jupiter. It doesn't take long for her to realize that something is wrong. She steps out from the shadows with an enraged look on her face and lunges at me, causing me to slice wildly with the diverging hook. Her feelings of anger flow through the hook into me and scatter. She stumbles forwards, confused now, and I try again, this time latching onto a swirling image of Jupiter's face, and I cut once more. I learn instantly that Jupiter is safely stowed aboard the Merry Belle, and I back away uncertainly, feeling a complex mixture of anger and pity at the now placid woman in front of me. Well, at the very least, I severed her feelings of anger. Let's hope it's nothing more serious than that. But I do have a bad feeling about this, that this may now end up distracting Frencesca from trying to find a proper treatment for the mysterious illness that's overtaking Undermere. But again, like, what real choice did I have here other than just, I suppose, abandoning Jupiter to his potentially perilous fate? And or just straight up enabling her attempt to murder Barton, which may or may not have succeeded. The Mary Bell is an old paddle steamer that hasn't been in working condition for many years. There is nobody aboard, or nobody that I can see at least. So I climb over the railing and start peering through grimy windows. As I approach the far side of the boat, I hear a desperate crying coming from behind a windowless door. I try the handle and it opens to reveal an unimpressed cat with mismatched eyes. Jupiter. He springs from his prison and into my arms. I hold him tight to my chest and he rubs my chin with the back of his head, purring with delight. Jupiter, my baby. Oh, you poor sweetheart. Though man, I mean, on the one hand, Bonnie definitely kind of had it coming, but I'm also worried about the potential consequences of what we just did. You know, much like with the Dranthium Tea / Witch's Finger decision. I could definitely see this coming back to bite us in various ways. I mean, for all we know, another option might have presented itself had we simply cooled our heels for a day or two. But what's done is done. Now we live with the consequences, I suppose. End of day 9. He tried to use the diverging hook on his partner as he had done on himself, but he could find no part of him that had not been taken over by the infection. His partner's hands ripped at the satchel, tearing it open and sending the black casket tumbling out. Yeah, I don't think Frencesca's going to take what we just did to Bonnie very well. Subtle. Below a moon that does not shine, there is no mark upon my shrine. In the dark, but not alone. My neighbor bears a cross of stone. Oh, another grave marker, perhaps? Day 10. Saturday. Also seeing multiple potential crosses of stone, so it'll take some parsing to narrow down our options here. Though it's not the cross of stone we're looking for, it's one next to it. Below a moon that does not shine. But we will leave that for next time. Man, this ended up being a very eventful couple of days. Even if one of them was unexpectedly short. And look at that, another rainy day in Undermere. That does feel fitting. Hey, buddy. Things are starting to come together, but obviously we've still got a ways to go before we can paint a whole picture, if we ever can. It's entirely possible that we may have made a misstep or two somewhere along the line. Not giving the spirit eye to the artist, for example. Nor choosing to risk the witch's fingers with the first black-eyed victim. And of course now our potential misstep with Bonnie. I will say, they definitely made our decisions a lot less black and white this time out. Back in Strange Horticulture, which I also very much enjoyed, you generally knew if you were doing the right or wrong thing every time you made a decision. But definitely less so here, which I do appreciate. That said, we'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take care of the usual off-screen bookkeeping, and we'll pick up here next time, as we deal with the inevitable fallout of what we have done. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to MiriV23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Thomas Piatkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.